I call this Craven County Board of Commissioners regular session to order Monday, August 5th. I welcome each and every one of you here. Thank you for being here this evening. If I can remind each and every one of you to either silence or turn off your electronic devices, please. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Commissioner Booker? Commissioner Jones?
Here.
Commissioner McKay?
Here.
Commissioner Mitchell?
Here.
Commissioner Sampson?
Here.
Vice Chairman Mark?
Here.
Chairman Light?
Here. If you'd please stand for the pledge and remaining for the prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
God our Father, we give you thanks for giving us another day. Bless the members of this Board of Commissioners as they gather at the dawn of another week. Endow each with the graces needed to attend to the issues of the day, with wisdom that the results of their efforts might benefit the citizens of our county. May all that is done this day be for your greater honor and glory. Amen.
Amen.
All right, moving on with the agenda. Receive a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. First on it, public hearing, animal control ordinance amendment. You want, manager, you want to speak on that, or before we go into public hearing?
Looking for Scott Harrelson. I don't know if
He's next door.
Yes, okay. Mr. Chair, tonight we have scheduled a public hearing to talk about changes to the animal control ordinance as part of your code of ordinances. These changes will simply change the party from Health Department Animal Control to the sheriff based on the changes you made at budget. So there's no substantive changes in this. It's simply just putting the authority where you vested it. Be happy to answer any questions that may come about from the public hearing, but that's the principle of what you're doing.
Okay. Receive a motion to go into public hearing.
So moved.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're now into public hearing. Is there anyone wishing to speak on the matter of the animal control ordinance amendment? It was published and put out there a couple of weeks ago online. Hearing none, seeing
Make a
none.
motion, go out. Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? We're out of public hearing. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Moving on, petitions of citizens, agenda topics only.
We have no one signed up to speak.
No one to sign up to speak for agenda topics for petitions of citizens. Okay, consent agenda. Is minutes of the July 15th, 2019 regular session and the July 18th, 2019 reconvened session, and tax releases and refunds.
I make a motion to approve. Second.
Motion and a second. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes.
Commissioner Mitchell?
Yes.
Commissioner Sampson?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Mark?
Yes.
Chairman Light?
Yes. Thank you. Okay, moving on is my privilege and my honor and a friend of this board to call up Greg Singleton, Director of the Community Workforce Readiness, to give us an update on the Craven Pamlico Reentry Council program for us. Mr. Singleton, welcome.
Thank you. Commissioner Reiner, Commissioner Mark, Commissioner Sampson, Commissioner McCabe, Commissioner Mitchell, Commissioner Jones. Thank you so much for the opportunity to provide a debrief as it relates to the Craven Pamlico Reentry Council. As provided for you earlier, there was information as it related to our report to NCDPS. But before going there, I would be remiss if I did not give credence and recognition to the Craven Pamlico Reentry Council Board of Directors. If you are here, please stand to be recognized. And I want to announce the appointment of our new chairperson, Monica Miners. Thank you very much for your attendance and support of the Reentry Council. Also, we have in support from NCDPS that keeps an eye on the Craven Pamlico Reentry Council. We have Ms. Joyce Jones from the Raleigh office by way of Greenville, and we're proud to have her support here today as well. And of course, our ongoing staff that stands to my flank, case manager Angela Wilson for Craven, and the case manager for Pamlico, Ms. Tanya Shaw. The numbers to report as of June 2018 is 258 enrolled. Active participants is 177. Want to focus on the number that we have now employed through the Craven Pamlico Reentry Council, and that number is 105. How significant is that number, 105, that is now employed? That calculates to to $3.1 million saving to the state of North Carolina. To the amount of time that our Reentry Council has been in existence as a funding entity, that equals $6.2 million in saving to the state of North Carolina to this work. Major shout outs to the Craven Pamlico Reentry Council for that work. In order to give a good client, it is imperative that we vet our clients through the Reentry Council. So in order to do that, we have partnered with the Craven Community College, in which is created the Job Readiness Boot Camp. Those numbers you will see show that we have still a solid 30% job completion that are becoming employed after this 8-day program. This 8-day program has now been extended to 9 days due to our partnership with NC Works, which means all of our clients that go through the Job Readiness Boot Camp, their last day will be spent exclusively with NC Works. This is very, very important to vetting our clients and getting our returning citizens back to work. Even though we may educate them at Craven Community College, we hope that they go and apply for jobs. We hope that they don't get frustrated with the process. But with this partnership with NC Works, our hopes are no more. We guarantee that they are now applying for jobs and not getting frustrated with the process. That is a partnership that I know on behalf of Craven Community College in this county is a very welcoming handshake. With the Job Readiness Boot Camp, we've been able to impact the county's bottom line with the partnership with the sheriff. Sheriff Chip Hughes, if you would stand just for a moment, please. Hate to put you on the spot. When we talk about the most unlikely people to become working partners in friendship, I would like to say that that could easily be me and the sheriff. I mean, you know my background. After serving 5 years in the penitentiary, it's not likely I'm going to be working in a partnership with the sheriff. Well, for over 2.5 years, we tried to get an educational program inside of our county jail, but for whatever reason, we were unsuccessful. When Sheriff Chip ran for this office, that was one of the promises that he made with me, that he would ensure that he endorsed having educational program inside of the county jail. And he did just that. And on May the 13th, we had our first ever Keys to Success program inside of his county jail with the female population. Thank you very, very much for that. Thank you. And if you want to talk about how this Reentry Council has bridged so many together, I've never met the warden that oversaw my stay of incarceration. And if I would have the opportunity to meet that warden in the street, I would shake his hand. But I know I'll probably never get that opportunity. Well, tonight I want to introduce to you a young lady by the name of Tara Hamilton. She used to be inside of your county jail. She was there for a domestic purpose, but still, it hurt her. The whole situation embarrassed her. And as soon as she got out of your jail, sir, she made a straight beam to the college, and she said to me, I want to do something to help. I want to do something. And she was on fire. And again, when you get that momentum behind you, it's imperative that you pave some way. Well, this young lady is now contracted with the Reentry Council as a navigator to work with the young ladies inside as they return back into society. And I'm so proud that she's a part of that. So I want you to meet the sheriff, Chip Hughes, who you spent a little time in. Now this is rare. This is an example of what a united front can do. I don't do this on my own. We don't do it on our own. It's because of you and your support that you continue to give to this Reentry Council as we progress forward. The Job Readiness Boot Camp that I spoke about, it is now officially a statewide initiative that is accessible to all 58 community colleges in North Carolina, and it all started at Craven Community College. When we first got funded by the state of North Carolina, we were blessed. At the time, we felt that it was a blessing to have 5 licensed seats onto their database. The last time I reported to you, that database had failed us and we had to go to a manual process. Just to give an idea of what a manual process looks like and feel like, just imagine taking your cell phone and getting rid of it and going back to the Sky Pager. Remember that? And that's the caseload that this Reentry Council possessed. It was unbearable for the 2 case managers. So we got with Gary Corden, with Corden Creation, there you go right there, and we wanted to create a database that would be acceptable by the state and that would cut down on the intake time process while relinquishing the same information. And we built that I want to show to you tonight our database called RecidiWorks, short for recidivism, and we're shortening that at work. All right, let's go, Gary. Are you doing the key? Oh, they fancy. I'll step back.
Hey, good evening, Commissioners. All right. Thank you for giving us this time. This right here is the culmination of quite a bit of work and time and work on behalf of the case managers and Mr. Singleton. So this right here is I'm gonna just go over basically the simple workings of the database. All right. When you first log in, you come to the screen that gives you a summary for this month. Now, all of the data is still being entered, so this is most of it here right now. But there's still some more data entry that needs to be done, as this is a fresh system. But it shows that one has been entered in the system this month. Okay. And right now, according to the system, there are 210 currently active, but we know that there's more than that once all the data is there. But I'm gonna take you through a brief just intake to show you what it looks like. So you would click on Add a New Client, and then you would pick the enrollment date of today. Let me do this if you don't mind. Let me take this. And, for some strange reason, Internet Explorer and this system does not like each other. Which
You can open at the same time.
yeah, I could open them at the same time.
Okay.
All right. All right. So let me log in here. Okay, I'm not as quite as young as I used to be, so y'all excuse me.
Comes to us all.
Hey, when I hit 40, that was one of the first things to go. All right, so here you are. So the intake form here just shows you the enrollment date. We're just gonna put in some data here, date of birth. Let's go ahead on and, make them, all right.
I look really young, don't
Child.
All right, and we'll pick, all right, 1999, 7/20/1999. The age when you committed your first offense,
I? I was 21.
21. And how many priors?
2.
Two priors. And the system automatically assesses the risk level based off of the information entered here. And that is based off of a state form that calculates it. All right, and then we would assign a caseworker here, and that's our test caseworker there. Do you know your NCDPS ID or your OPUS number?
125-4782.
Okay, all right, and if it was one that was already entered somewhere else in another county or one that they had previously entered, it would then let you know, hey, this person is already here. Do you want to go to that one? All right, so your first name?
Angela. Middle initial. Wilson.
Any suffix?
Mrs.
All right, marital status?
Married.
All right, race?
Black.
Ethnicity?
Non-Hispanic.
All right, what's your highest level of education?
Bachelor's.
Okay. All right, so what is your current address?
503 Guyan Street.
It's GYN?
Yes. Newburgh. 28562.
28562. All right, primary phone number?
252-497-2009.
497-2009. All right, email address?
Angela.wilson@cpreentry.nc.org.
All right. What is your current citizenship status?
U.S. citizen.
Okay. And what forms of ID do you currently possess?
I have a U.S. driver's license, a birth certificate, social security card.
Okay. All right, what's your preferred sex?
Female.
All right. So, so when were you released?
Oh, I just got out
Look at that.
yesterday.
All right, so yesterday was the 4th, okay. Where were you released from?
Craven County Jail.
Okay, so you were released from county jail.
Thank you for letting me out, Sheriff.
All right, and so what was your offense?
Larceny.
Larceny. Ooh.
I stole some candy corn.
Oh, no. Are you currently under supervision?
No.
No. Okay. All right, so all of this is irrelevant here. Are you a sex offender?
No.
Okay. So we're gonna put you in as you're currently active. All right, so so what needs do you feel that you have at this moment?
I need food, housing.
Okay.
That would be under basic needs. Food.
Okay, basic needs.
I need housing.
All right. Do you need emergency housing like now or?
Yeah, my mom kicked me out.
Okay.
I need employment,
Okay.
and I need some type of tangible skill.
Okay, so life skills, education?
Yes.
Okay, we do education as well. All right,
And transportation.
transportation. And what about mental health is still in the candy corn and getting caught?
Well, yeah. I put the bag, only took 5 pieces, I put the bag back, I can't imagine.
All right, so then once you finish, you would hit add a new client, and then it would enter them in there. And oh Lord have mercy. Yeah, so then we're gonna find you in here. Let's find Angela Wilson in here. Okay, so you got your caseload.
Yep.
You got a big caseload in here. All right, so I'll let you
Okay.
take over.
Now, even though in the funness of it, the serious part is, this short process would normally take how long, Angela, with this?
About 30 minutes.
This would take us 30 minutes when we was using the state system that failed. We did it in fun and games in less than 3 and captured all of the needed data. As you would look on your sheet in front of you that's reported back to the state, it calculates that. So we would know the number of services that we're providing to manage our funding and to make sure that we're providing those funded services accordingly and can report that back. our database is now being reviewed by the state to compete for the next RFP as it relates to a database for reentry counsel. And we are very proud of what we have done by taking lemon and making lemonade. So this is a debrief from me and, of course, the team of the Reentry Council, but I would be remiss if I did not introduce you to Susan. Susan, if you would stand. She's the first instructor to pilot our Keys to Success program with the female population in the Craven County Jail. Thank you so much for what you do. Thank you so much. And I intentionally didn't say her last name because I cannot enunciate it. Would you do that for me? Namowitz, got it. Thank you very much for your time, and I thank you for your serious ear of listening.
Board, do you have anything?
Yes. I'd just like to say, I was so enthused when we began to work together with Greg Singleton, county. We had been working on trying to get this program. This reentry program began in 2005. And we waited until about at least 12 years before we could get this program to start. We tried to organize. I know it took about 2 years trying to organize. We found Greg some way. I don't know how it was really found, but I met him. I met Greg and talked to him, and then we came up here and talked to the county manager. The county manager he was sold. So the county manager said, well, we'll get the board together. But the worst job we had was trying to get the program initiated to him by the commissioners, because they didn't trust it. Now, a lot of counties had this program, but a lot of those programs has failed. But this program, when Greg started working for the county, and then we partnership with the
College,
we worked for the county, then we partnership with the community college.
Yep.
To get Greg started. Now, he was dedicated, there's no doubts about it. I think he did a lot of free work for him before he got hired. But he really finally sold him to the board. And during that time, the county was paying half of his salary and the community college was paying half of his salary. But we started the ball rolling with the community college.
That's right.
Because we liked got into a little tussle there once or twice. But we didn't want to lose Greg. And they were trying to get them all by themselves.
Yes.
Because we happen to see in the future somebody who really wanted to do something. Even though he had problems in his life, he wanted to help somebody else just as we did. And most of all, to save county money.
That's right.
And I'm proud to say that we have saved the county. You won't never hear about it from the taxpayer, but we have saved the county. I know at least $1 million or more since this organization has been organized. And I was going through a tour at the soup kitchen out there, and the governor, he came by, and Greg took him over, and he was so enthused about Greg and what Greg was doing. He bought into the program.
Yes.
And I know Greg gets a lot of support from
Yes, I do.
the governor of this state now, because it's saving, not only is saving the county money, it's saving the government money.
Yes. I sit on his statewide initiative now.
So we are proud to have this program. I don't know how many citizens are gonna put it in the news that what a nice program we have, but I like to put it in the news to make sure it gets started.
That's right.
So I'm really proud of Greg. I'm proud of this board for accepting this program. to help people. We have so many our young males and females in the system at a blockage. They can't find no jobs. Get out of jail, return to jail. Get out of jail, return to jail. A lot of citizens say, well, lock them up and throw the key away because we can't do nothing with them. But that's not the way that Jesus tells us to do. We got to be our brother's keeper.
That's right.
Because we don't never know when it will come to us that some hour be in that jail.
That's right.
So we're just proud of this program, and we want every citizen in North Carolina and the United States to take a part that they can in a program such as this, that we won't have so many people locked away, that we have to take care of. We have to spend money on. And we don't think about how much money we spend, because the jail is not the only one to spend money on, but you got Social Security, you got the health center, you got social service, and you got community college, and so many pots being dumped in the trying to keep people in jail. So I'm proud that this has happened, because if we don't do anything else, I know we have made the right step.
Thank you, sir.
I just want to say one thing. I'm not going to talk long as Johnny.
Oh, you want to get your picture?
But anyway, I did attend the meeting, this regional council thing a couple of weeks ago. And while he was doing the databases with the young lady here, I thought she was really locked up. And I was going to my pocket give her some money. And it's the honest truth. And kind of find out that she was working with them. So you lost $30 by giving it to someone else that was there, the other lady. I give it to her. So Gray, you're doing a wonderful job, and on your staff. So keep it up, and may God continue blessing you on your work.
Thank you very much.
Anyone else? Thank you. Singleton, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, moving into departmental matters, Carts, Kelly Walker, and her assistant director, public outreach and set public hearing. Kelly, welcome.
Hey, welcome. Good evening.
Good evening.
CARTS, the public outreach section, CARTS has scheduled multiple dates, times, and locations between August 16th and September 20th, 2019, with two goals in mind. One is to share information regarding the transportation services that CARTS provides to the public. The other is to receive information from the public regarding their transit needs. We encourage public participation, and the meetings will be a floating style with no formal presentation. Flyers, event calendars, the CARTS webpage, and the Craven County Facebook page are some of the ways we will be advertising the meetings. Calendars were included in your packages. They are available over on the table for the public, and we also have some laminated location-specific flyers if any of you are interested in that. We're excited about these opportunities to go out to the communities we serve, educate the public about CARTS services, and most of all, listen to what the public transit needs are. We will have maps on display, maps for markup, and information brochures for participants, so we are asking the public to please come out and prepare to be interactive with the CARTS staff. Some locations will include representation from other county departments, the New Bern Area Metropolitan Planning Organization, Down East Rural Planning Organization, and/or the Craven Pamlico Reentry Council. Thank you for the opportunity to present the information to the board and the public regarding these upcoming outreach efforts.
Kelly, before you move on, anybody have any questions? First of all, I want to make the public aware. If you haven't seen this calendar, please go on the website and check out the dates for your area. This is your opportunity to provide update and input for what the needs are for transportation requirements in your area. So the CARTS is reaching out, the board is reaching out to you to get input so we can base our future, what we need in the future out there. So please, if you're in the area and they're in your area, attend. There's a number of hours. You don't have to take the whole time in there. Come in 10, 15 minutes, give your input, and you're free to go. It's just to learn and provide input so we know what the community is looking for. Thank you, Kelly. Go ahead. Thank you.
The other is to request to set a public hearing for September 3rd for a grant application. The North Carolina Department of Transportation, Public Transportation Division, NCDOT, PTD, has released the fiscal year 2021 5311 Community Transportation Program application and combined capital applications. So this is for the time period of July 1st, 2020 through June 30th, 2021. Each requires opportunity for public input as well as a public hearing, which are allowed to be combined. Applications for these projects must be submitted no later than October 4th, 2019. The 5311 CTP grant is a formula-based allocation grant for public transportation projects in non-urbanized areas. CARTS relies on this grant to assist with the cost of providing rural public transportation services. The process for capital projects is an application which does not specify into which grant the capital projects will be placed. This allows for flexibility based on grant availability, and this determination will be made at the state level. The only capital projects planned for fiscal year 2021 is the purchase of replacement vehicles. CARTS relies on this grant for replacement of vehicles which have met useful life. CARTS is requesting a combined public hearing be set for September 3rd, 2019 meeting.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we set a public hearing for September 3rd.
Second.
For NCDOT grant.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? September 3rd, manager? Put it on the calendar.
Thank you.
Kelly, thank you. Okay, next on the list is Scott Harrelson, Health Director. Use of fund balance appropriation and animal control ordinance.
Good evening, Commissioners.
Scott, welcome.
Yes, the first item is the list of end-of-year purchases. Customary for my staff to come from all facets of the department and request items to be purchased. We had another solid financial year with the health department this year with revenues over expenses. Usually we're looking at $850,000 to $1 million. And then we try to earmark somewhere between $80,000 to $120,000 of items requested for people to do their jobs. And that's what I'm bringing here before you today, not to belabor the list, but we're looking at some radios and things to go with the animal control officers for the sheriff's department. It was definitely good of them to take over operation of the animal control officers. We still have the animal control shelter under the auspices of the health department, and he's taking the enforcement arm of that under the sheriff's department. And I think we'll be working together very well in the years to come, and I think that's a good way to do things. Other items we have, a big item is another vehicle for our hospice nurses. Our goal is to ramp up our patient census to 50. We are now over 30, 35 all the time, and that's come a long way in the last few years, and there's a lot of room for growth in the area. So we added another nurse, and we do not have a car for her to drive. She's been driving her own vehicle, and it's much less expensive over time to purchase a vehicle rather than pay mileage. And we have anything from hand pieces for our dentists to refrigerators to store expensive vaccines that we administer on a daily basis. So at this time, I'd like to answer any questions you might have.
Entertain a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I approve the use of Health Department earnings for 2019.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? I just want to make sure that the public understands this is not taxpayer dollars, so to speak, out of your general fund money.
That's right.
Or out of reserve money. This is revenue received for the service provided to his clientele above and beyond from Medicare, Medicaid, and the like. So it's
Yes,
not
sir.
taxpayer dollars per se as we're used to using it out of our general fund money. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes.
Commissioner Mitchell?
Yes.
Commissioner Sampson?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Mark?
Yes.
Chairman Linder?
Yes.
Thank you for your support. And on the matter of the animal control ordinance, I'll defer to the county manager, Mr. Vite.
Thank you, Scott. Commissioners, as I mentioned to you earlier, you've had the required public hearing at this point to make the changes that are shown in attachment 6B. I will inform you, though, there is a bit of a wrinkle without Commissioner Booker here. Even if it's unanimous amongst the 6 of you, it'll have to come back for a second vote at your next meeting. So that's per, of course, state law and your bylaws. So if you're free to take a vote tonight, it doesn't hurt anything, but you're still going to have to take a vote at the next meeting as well. In the next meeting, it doesn't have to be unanimous, but the first reading it does.
But it's better we take a vote tonight, because the second meeting, if it's not unanimous, then we gotta come back for a
Correct.
second vote, so we might as well get the vote tonight.
As long as the first vote's done tonight, then the second vote's simple
counts,
majority.
whichever way it goes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'll make a motion for the adoption of the animal control ordinance amendment.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes.
Commissioner Mitchell?
Yes.
Commissioner Sampson?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Mark?
Yes.
Chairman Linder?
Yes.
Thank you.
Scott, thank
Mr.
you.
Chairman, we'll put that on your August 19th agenda as well for action.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Next on the agenda, Emergency Services, North Carolina Department of Insurance Grant for Fire Departments, County Match. And Mr. Ira will be up here making the presentations. Ira, how'd you get the short straw?
Good evening. It's, tonight we have volunteer fire departments from across the county that has made an application for the North Carolina DOI grant for fire departments. And with part of that is it requires a half match. And the fire departments that I have documented here tonight that has asked for the match is Little Swift Creek, Fuel Whitford as the one that'll be doing the presentation, Fort Barnwell Fire Department, Greg Milligan, Bobby Willis, Township 9 Fire Department, Roger Weatherington, Dover Fire Department, Brad White. And at this time, I'm going to turn it over to them and let them make the presentations that they have already prepared for each department.
Greetings from Ernle, Commissioners. I look forward to saying that to you each year. We thank you for your service to our county, as well as the county management staff. Tonight I'm here, I'm Kuhl Whitford with Little Swift Creek, and we are submitting this request to the purposes for a lot of our air packs, and that includes the tank and the mask and all the hooks and belts and such that contain with that. This is for a quantity of 8 packs. This will give us a few other benefits. It'll give us 15 minutes longer per tank and a little bit lighter. Even a couple of them that we want to experiment with have a inside, they have a thermal imaging camera that will enable our people wearing the mask to look somewhere up in there and see the temperature of the room. Safety has come a long ways, of course, as you know, not only in everything but in our industry as well. But our total amount that we're requesting is $28,705 to match that to what the state has. I welcome any questions you may have.
I would make a motion, Mr. Chairman, to approve the $28,705.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes.
Commissioner Mitchell?
Yes.
Commissioner Sampson?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Mark?
Yes.
Chairman Linder?
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you all.
Commissioners, I'm Greg Milligan, Fire Chief at Fort Barnwell Volunteer Fire Department. Before I present our equipment, I would like to ask that y'all do keep the family of Mr. James W. Smith in your thoughts and prayers. He was a founding member of Fort Ball Volunteer Fire Department and the Rescue Squad. He did serve for 47 years. He passed away on Friday, and we laid him to rest this morning. I thank some of y'all for coming today. He also served for 22 years on the Craven County Board of Education, also the Craven County Equalization and Review Board, and he was our Fire Tax Commissioner for Township Number 3. He has served for many years. He's surely going to be missed by all of us in the Township 3 community. But again, I'd like to keep his family in thoughts and prayers. Before you have a list of equipment that we have requested for Fort Ball Fire Department. Some of this is the personal protective equipment as well as vehicle equipment to outfit our new pumper tanker, which we just received on last year's grant through the Department of Insurance. And if you have any questions on that equipment there, I'm not going to be as thorough as Q was, but if you have any questions there, I'll be certainly glad to answer that.
Entertain a motion?
Chair, I make a motion to approve.
I'll second the motion.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner McCabe?
Yes.
Commissioner Mitchell?
Yes.
Commissioner Sampson?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Mark?
Yes.
Chairman Light?
Yes.
Thank y'all, and I would like to thank y'all for the support y'all do give the fire, EMS, and law enforcement emergency services in Craven County.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Roger Weatherington. I'm the president of Number 9 Township Fire and Rescue. I'm the old man in the county as far as years service. Only one person in the county has more service time than what I does, and that's Ed Weigel. He beats me by 6 months. But I'm outlasting. So we thank you for the support that you do every year, and we ask for $18,858.50 from the state, of which they granted us. And so our half of it is $9,429.25. And what we're asking for is extra pagers so that the firemen can get to the scene, lights to protect them while they're getting back at the scene and to the scene, and turnout gear to protect them while they are fighting fires and all. And again, I appreciate everything that y'all do for us. And Commissioner McCabe, I'll have your benefits ready for you on Wednesday night so that you can pay up all your. I'm also known as the Angel of Death.
Please, I'll be there.
I'm as the Angel of Death in Craven County because I minister the brotherhood. If a fireman dies, that we have an insurance. So when I come to go to the bank, the girls at the bank, I say, "Oh no, another fireman's died, and here comes the Angel of Death." And so that's my nickname.
I'm glad you explained that because I thought you.
I'll be for a long time. Thank God for that. I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner McCabe?
Yes.
Commissioner Mitchell?
Yes.
Commissioner Sampson?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Mark?
Yes.
Chairman Light?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening, Commissioners,
Good
Mr.
evening.
Chairman. It's always an honor to stand before you guys, and we appreciate what you guys do for us. I'm Brad White. I'm the Fire Chief at Dover Fire Department. I'm here before you this evening to speak about what we've got on our grant. I'm not going to be quite as thorough as some other folks have been. We've got total funding on this, total grant numbers, or give me just a second to get to the right page. 57,000, half of that's 28. The state's already awarded us the 28,000, so we're gonna be asking for you guys for $20,600.07. $28,607.50. It's equipment that we use on a daily basis in our duties at the fire department. Extrication equipment, turnout gear, air packs are the main pieces of this. There's some other small odd and end pieces on this, but that's our main pieces of equipment. So we appreciate what you guys do. If you guys have any questions for us, please let me know.
So move.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes.
Commissioner Mitchell?
Yes.
Commissioner Sampson?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Mark?
Yes.
Chairman Linder?
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to turn it over to Commissioner Jones.
Mr. Chairman, several years ago, this board reinstated the matching grants for, we set a criteria for those departments that had a tax base that were at a certain level higher than the other fire districts across the county. And the ones that have come before us this evening were qualified for that. One department that did not qualify this year is the Coast City Volunteer Fire Department. Coast City, Fort Bomber, and Dover, the three departments together make up number 3 township. Township 3 has the highest fire tax in the whole county of 9 cents. If you take Vanceboro, Vanceboro is around 2 cents.
2.3.
2.3. Number 3 township, again, is at 9 cents. Rural area, they don't have the tax base as other areas in our county. Tonight, I want to ask the board for consideration, if you will pass them down. Coast City Fire Department did not qualify due to Coast City Fire Department and their rescue squad being as a corporation. When they showed their financial statement to DOI, because the two entities come together, they do not rate as high as what these other departments would. And by the time they get to them, the money has run out and been dispersed. This past year, as we met and talked about Township 3's situation, and we have to meet pretty often throughout the years to talk about their fire tax. And again, they're at 9 cents. And it continues to be an escalating problem on some of the, I hate to say, but some of the most struggling folks of our county in the rural part. Coast City applied for $22,450, and there before you, they would get fire gloves, boots, coats, helmets, hoods, 5 pairs of them, a pager, 2 of them, and their hour bottles, 10 of them. And again, it would amount to $22,450. I'd like to ask the board to consider tonight including Coast City Fire Department in this grant tonight. And I would like, if the chairman would allow, to make a motion that we fund them at $22,450.
I'll second
I'll second that motion.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I will say, if the board has any questions, they have 2 representatives here from Coast City Fire Department, if you want them to answer any questions.
Gentlemen, if you could come up, please. No discussions? Roll call?
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes.
Commissioner Mitchell?
Yes.
Commissioner Sampson?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Mark?
Yes.
Chairman Linder?
Yes. Gentlemen, please step up. I don't want to seem negative, and I don't want to seem rude to you, because what you do is invaluable to this county. But you've missed out on a great opportunity over the years. This gentleman has tried to move forward. We gave you a match 2 years ago at a sum with the understanding that you all would split your services, fire and EMS, so you didn't have that large money when you went up for your grants. Each year you've kept that. You've lost out on the gentlemen's behind you have received. You have to take it back to your leadership that they've got to move forward on splitting. it doesn't hurt you from what I've found out and from what I've checked with and everything else. It's a paper drill that separates the money. But the opportunity of what's available to you from the state for the matching grants, and you would fall into this category as the other four from the county side here. But I think I'd be remiss by not putting that forward to you, because I don't see you coming back again for a match if you have not split.
Yes, sir. We're currently evaluating different options to go with the split. My name's Russ Caton, president right now, and there's been talk of this throughout the past couple of years. I just got elected president this past winter, and we are currently using different resources and trying to find the best way to split and allow both sides to be able to get grants.
Right.
And,
And again, don't take me wrong with this board. This board is gonna support anything we can, but you're missing out on an opportunity that we can't continue to support when you have an opportunity to make it yourself.
Yes, sir.
With our help from it as well. Because the other 28's coming out of your arrangements and your feedings and everything else that you all do. And you're probably the best in the county for doing fundraisers and everything else. But the state has got money up there for you.
Yes, sir.
They've got money up there to get it. And I just don't want it to take negative, but I'd be remiss in my job and putting that forward to you, that we need you to seriously get involved. And if this commissioner can help you, he's going to, we all know that. And if he needs help from this board or the staff to get it done, we'll help you get it done. But we want to make sure you're viable and you're getting all the money you can that the state has up there.
Yes, sir.
That you can get your share of. But again, please, we are so thankful for what you all do for this county, for being up there, the time, the effort, and everything you do. But we want to, and again, thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Okay, moving forward. Convention Center, set public hearing for Convention Center financing.
Good evening, Commissioners.
Good evening.
Good evening.
At the July 18th meeting, the board awarded a contract to Barnhill Contracting for flood remediation and renovations at the Convention Center, and directed staff to move forward with soliciting financing proposals for the cost of these improvements. North Carolina General Statutes requires that the county hold a public hearing prior to entering into a financing agreement, and must publish this notice in the local paper at least 10 days before the date set for the hearing. This is the first step in the borrowing process and kicks off a rather aggressive financing schedule over the next 2 months. Key dates for this schedule will include July 30th. The bank RFPs were sent out, and with those responses, and they're due back on August 16th. At the August 19th meeting, the county will hold this public hearing. Also on that date, I will present the required preliminary resolutions, including the authorization to file the application with the LGC. Following that, on the September 3rd meeting, I will present the final resolutions for the board's approval. This will be the final action required of the board for this particular borrowing. On September 10th, the LGC will meet at that time with the anticipated to approve our application. If all goes as scheduled, the closing for this financing will occur on September 12th.
So
That is
moved,
the
Mr. Chairman.
schedule, and at this time, I'd like to request that a public hearing be set for August 19th, 2019 at 8:30 a.m.
Got a motion? Got a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Greg, I do. Manager, is the deadlines that important? And the only reason I'm bringing that up, because that morning meeting, we normally don't have people in there, and that's a large sum of money. I mean, we've already approved it, so it's not.
Yeah.
I withdraw.
Well,
Got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay.
thank you.
I answered myself, thank you.
I was just getting warmed up. I could go. I was gonna go a while.
I was a little bit slow, but I got it. I got it. All right, moving on. Appointments pending. You see, coming up, Adult Care, Nursing Home, New Bern Planning and Zoning Board, Trillium Health Services Board. Did we get an application for that?
We did not. Did not. We got a name, but not an
Get with
application.
Dave, will you?
Yeah.
Craven County Planning Board.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
If I may stop you there.
Yes, sir.
In front of you, you have an application for the Craven County Planning Board. This seat would represent the district in which I represent, District 2. You have an application there before you of Obi Lee Kirkman, and I would ask that he be appointed to serve.
Anybody have any objections or any other nominations? Hearing none by acclamation, he's so appointed. Craven Community College Board of Trustees, vacant, will stay vacant. Craven County Recreation Advisory Council,
Mr. Chair, I believe on that one, we needed, one Township 6 seat.
that seat is going to be filled by the acting director. I've talked to, I'll get, yeah.
And then Mr. Johnny was the other seat, is that correct? I'll get with you. I think it was the
Okay.
Township 3 seat.
Those are vacant, okay. I've got that one for Havelock.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get you. Okay. Current appointments expiring the end of the month. Craven County Clean Sweep, both wish to be reappointed, Barbara Smith and Judy Lloyd.
I'll appoint them.
Got appointment for both of them. Any other nominations? Acclamation, they're both reappointed. Riverbend Board of Adjustment, Kelly Forrest wishes to be reappointed.
Yes, sir, I concur with that, Mr. Chair.
Any other nominations? Hearing none by acclamation. Juvenile Crime Prevention Council, Elaine Medville wishes to be reappointed. One nomination for that. Any other nominations? Hearing none by acclamation, reappointed. Upcoming appointments expiring September 16th, Juvenile Crime Prevention Council, Tracy Monk. So we'll be looking for somebody for that, on that. And then I need a nomination for the North Carolina Association of County Commissioners voting delegate.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to nominate our chair, yourself, as our voting delegate.
Any other nominations?
Were you gonna suffer?
No, you don't need it.
No, I'm looking for nomination, any other nominations? Okay, I'll take it.
I know, I ain't gonna win no if I
Thank
take it.
Okay. Okay, petitions of citizens.
We have no petitions of citizens.
No petitions of citizens.
That's good.
Okay, here comes the highlight of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. Ari is not with us. We have Miss Jill.
Mr. Chair, I have no report from the county attorney's office.
No report. I'm giving you the opportunity. No report. All right, ma'am, thank you much. County manager.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, thank you for the opportunity. I had a couple things I was going to share with you, and Gene's actually going to go get a visual aid. He's running now, so we'll have that for you. Update, Convention Center, it's been in the paper, it's been on the news. I know you've been by it. Work started last week, demolition crew pressing ahead this week. Looking good. Still shooting mid-October timeline to be, we're calling it a partial reopen. We'll still be hosting events, but it won't be completed until January. But we're going to be back open, serving the public during that period. Jeff Wood emailed me this afternoon, wanted me to let the board know next week he'll have a gentleman here by the name of Brian Daniels. Brian is, again, one of these International Economic Development Council volunteers that's here for a week because of Hurricane Florence. He hails from Blount County, Tennessee, and he will be wanting to meet with you because he will be the one that will be updating our strategic plan. or at least looking at some potential updates for that. As he noted to me this afternoon, he'll be getting with Ms. Holton to give you a call and try to schedule that next week. So you'll be waiting on that call. And did Gene come back? Oh, all right, the big unveiling.
Green?
Here is the new recycling container. We had talked about it so much, and we just got it in last week, and I wanted you to be able to have a chance to look at it. You certainly can't miss it because of the color.
Yeah, green mean clean.
Yep, that is actually the company's new color. Their name is Green for Life, so it's very fitting to the can. That is a 95-gallon can. You know, it'll be what we'll receive the once-a-month service from. One of the neat things, and you won't note on this can, but as you note, the black lid has a flat space in the middle. We'll actually hot stamp the items that are recyclable on there. So it won't be a sticker. It's actually going to be ingrained in the plastic, so folks will know what we take and what we don't take. When we actually pass the can out, there'll be a whole package inside the can of literature. It'll be more on what we take, we don't take, schedules, timing, all those type of things. Plus a very robust public information process.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yes.
Is there some way that you can tie it to the back or tape it to the front? If you just throw it inside the can, it'll be part of the garbage.
No, I mean, I think we're going to fix it underneath the lid. So
Okay.
yeah, but I like your idea.
Yeah,
We'll certainly take a look at that.
because they'll never get in there to get it.
The reason I wanted to go ahead and bring this out tonight, we will have a presentation update on August 19th on this program for you, but these cans are going to start showing up at people's homes on August 26th. So August 26th through the end of September, these cans will be delivered throughout the county. I recognize this is a major endeavor because it's about 47,000 of those cans have to go out. So that's a big ordeal.
Let me ask you a question. The people that start getting them on August 26th, the following week, can they use that one, or are they
No.
going to use the small one?
That can will not come into use until October the 7th,
Okay.
which is a Monday.
Okay.
That is when the new program will take place. So the old program with the cans you have now stops October 4th. Have the weekend, fresh start on Monday. With the new schedule, you'll have a new day, most folks will, and we'll start using the new rollout container.
So that was October
Fourth, stop.
Okay.
4th, stop the old programs, new October 7th. I can answer any more questions about the program. Right now, we're the big challenge, just like handing out 47,000 of these cans, is educating 106,000 people of the changes in the program. There's not one way you can touch every person, so we're going to have to use a lot of different mediums there. And this morning, Rusty Cotton and our contractor were on Steve Tyson's TV show this morning, talking about the program, unveiling some of the information. So we'll be ramping up, and Amber's going to be taking the lead along with Rusty on that process. So I want to share that with you. You can feel free to take a look around it whenever the meeting's over if you still want to pull the lid up. Lastly, Commissioners, this is something that's been on my list for about 5 years, and tonight I'm going to give it a shot and see what you think. Back when we started looking about that time, about 5 years ago, at how we could be more open to the community that we serve, more open to the people in the county. We started doing things like having meetings in the different districts. We had the Connect with Craven event down at the Convention Center. We had the caravan for opioids where we went to different communities, a variety of different programs. But the one thing that Gwen Bryan and I talked about often was a citizen academy. And what that academy would be where folks could come in for 4 or 5 nights in the month of October, and we'd have different departments talk to them about county government, a lot like what the community college does with their VIP program, where they create people who are ambassadors. We wouldn't necessarily have ambassadors, but people who are educated about what county government is. Some of the things we're looking for, objectives in this, are to represent all 7 commissioner districts. We don't want everyone to come from just one district. We want it to cover from Harlow to Dover and everything in between. We want to make sure we have diversity in the group. We want to make sure that we only have, of course, one individual per household, because we want to educate as many different people as we can. Male, female balance, age diversity, all those different things that make up our community we want to make sure we have in this group. However, because of the demand and this sort of being a pilot program, we are going to cap the first class at 15. So what that does is basically allows each commissioner to have 2 slots from each district. And then there would be 1 extra seat, just because 15 is the number that worked for us based on vehicle transports and things like that. We would have an application process, which Ms. Bryan has already been working on. It's a very simple application. Name, address, email, commissioner, district, occupation, how long you've lived here, why you want to do this. That's the most important question. We're interested in that. And just to give you kind of a sample size of what this program would look like, it would start the first week in October, and it would run until the last meeting would be on November 4th, which is your commissioner meeting night, which would be coming to the meeting and participating with the commissioners in this process. That would be how it would culminate. But for instance, on October 1st, the first night, we would meet at the Emergency Operations Center, introduce ourselves, talk about the Board of Commissioners, talk about the county manager, and we would get into those basic functions of the county government like finance, HR, IT, cover all that, and then we kind of finish up with what's in that building, which would be the clerk of court, emergency services, bringing them into the 911 room, watching that process take place, talking about hurricanes and things like that. Each week's built on a different theme. We want to make sure we go out and spend time with our sheriff, a judicial center, and our cooperative extension friends. We want to have a night at the airport where we're learning about the airport, but also talking about things like planning and parks and recreation. And then, of course, one of the big parts about county government that a lot of people don't understand is the human service component of that, which is the largest part of our government, the health, DSS, seniors, things like that. So I tell you all this, there's obviously it takes a lot of planning, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of staff hours, and it does unfortunately take money. What we would think would be appropriate, because we are asking folks to come at night, is to have a meal. We'd also need some materials for the program. And I'll be honest with you, I really want to do this because Gwen's with me till December. And this is something we've worked very hard on over the years to try to kick it off. We were ready to go when the hurricane hit last year, just like every other thing that had been a priority for a while. But it's completely up to you. It is amount of work that staff have to do, and you. We do have some expectations for you to attend and participate with the committee. Our estimate is $1,600 is what we would need to run the program for the 5 weeks. And then, of course, the time, which, we don't need a budget amendment for that. So 2 things I would need your sort of acceptance of the program, and second, if you would, the budget amendment. And we can put it on the next agenda if you'd like to cover the budget amendment then.
I would make a recommendation, but I would up it to $2K.
Buy better food.
I would second that motion.
So that, you got a motion and a second, any discussion? Based on that, it's consensus of the board to move forward with it, with the program, since we have money involved. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner McCabe?
Yes.
Commissioner Mitchell?
Yes.
Commissioner Sampson?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Mark?
Yes.
Chairman Light?
Yes.
So, for the public, we will have an application out tomorrow morning for our new Citizen Academy. So if you know folks that may be interested, please point them to our website, and we'll try to get it there on the main page. Mr. Chair, that's all I have, unless you have questions for me.
Any questions?
Yes.
Yes,
Who's
sir.
going to approve the application?
Oh, good question, and I should have covered that. We envisioned a committee, and of course, this would be something I would rely on the chair and the board for. We envisioned myself, Ms. Bryan, the chairman, and 1 other commissioner as being the selection committee. That's okay with the board.
And what is the actual start date of this?
It would be October 1.
October 1, and
Yes,
it would
ma'am.
go through November 4?
Yes.
How long is the application period open for?
We would like to have it open probably from tomorrow for about 3 weeks. So we can go ahead and have everything ready, build the roster, and start planning
So,
Trip.
say 1 September, or 2 September?
ballpark. Correct, sir, yeah, about the 1st September.
Is there any criteria in such, you have Riverbend, you have Fairfield Harbor, would you want would somebody from their boards qualify, or you want a citizen?
I think it's fine. I mean, it's really, we just wanted diversity, we wanted to make sure we hit all the corners of the county, all the different makeup. I'm going to be leaning on you folks. I mean, obviously, Mr. Sampson's obviously going to have people from New Bern, because that's, his district's all in New Bern. Commissioner Mitchell will have Trent Woods, New Bern, and Riverbend to kind of look at. I mean, I'm hopeful that people are interested and want to participate in the program. I mean, we could do this and realize that no one wants to do it. I mean, that's always a chance you take. But I think there are folks out there
I
that want
think
to do it.
you'll get a lot of response.
But that's why we wanted to do at least 2 from each commissioner district to make it fair.
Any other questions? Sure, thank you.
Yes.
Okay, moving on, Commissioner's report. Commissioner Jones.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. The sheriff is here, if you would allow. I don't want to put him on the spot, but tomorrow is National Night Out tomorrow night, and give him the opportunity to tell what's going on in the county.
Thank you. It's always a privilege to come before our commissioners. Yeah, National Night Out is a big night for us. And this is where we can go out into the community and share with them a lot of things we are doing, show them some of our equipment that we've got, talk about our goals and objectives, answer questions from the public. We also use it as an educational component, you know, to discuss the opioid and heroin epidemic we're going through and how we're addressing that. Educate some of our young people about it as well, and we talk about drinking and driving and the dangers associated with that. But once, it's for us to be out there with the public, answer any questions, get them a chance to get into the vehicles and see the equipment and just really have a good time and bring the public together. And we try to gear it a lot toward our youth, so they can see that, you know, really the uniform is just our shell. Underneath, we're humans just like everybody else. So we will be, our concentration is more along the outer parts of the county and the areas that we cover exclusively in our jurisdiction, and that's the Harlow Adams Creek area, Cove City area, and then we've got Fairfield Harbor area as well. But I have asked members of my command staff to reach out to members of you all as well, our commissioners, so you can get in the car and ride with us. And that also gives, we think, the public to see government working together and that we support each other in our endeavors.
Thank you, sir. So National Night Out tomorrow night, 6 to 9 at Cove City, and same thing at Harlow?
Yes, sir.
Is it 6 or 6:30?
6.
6 o'clock, okay.
All right. Thank you for doing it, Sheriff.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Good question. Thank you very much.
Also, Chief Milligan from Fort Baltimore Fire Department mentioned about Mr. Jimmy Smith, but I would like it to be recorded in the minutes, official minutes of this meeting, of the service that Mr. Jimmy Smith gave to the citizens of this county. I relied on Mr. Jimmy a lot for advice. I called him. He's been a friend of our families for many, many years. He was a farmer and also a public servant, and him and myself could kind of relate on a lot of things. And he was a man of great wisdom, and is definitely a loss for our community. As I've stated recently to some folks, you know, he came to my house, or to the farmhouse, about 3 months ago. We had a fire department meeting out there to talk about the budget with Township 3. He was the first individual to the meeting, and we had a great discussion that evening, and he shared with me that night about his ailments. And so it was a great loss to all of Craven County, but especially to us in the western end of the county. And that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Mitchell?
I don't have anything tonight, sir.
Mr. McCabe?
Yes, I did a chance to attend the 2019 NECO Annual Conference, and instead of me getting into detail, I have some information here for each commissioner they can read at their own leisure. And
You don't want to read it to us?
no, this man, no, it's too much for me to be reading. Read it tomorrow night, nice night, when you get a chance. Yes.
I would suggest if we have any questions to call Commissioner McCabe at his home.
If you have any questions, call the county manager. Everybody have one?
Everybody got one?
What are you running for? If you do?
President
Okay.
of the United States. No, I'm kidding. Nah.
Oh, this one for him. I'm sorry.
Also, Mr. Chair, I did have the opportunity to attend the ribbon cutting at the Jones County Public School, and they had a ribbon cutting there. Senator Harry Brown. He was the one that was very instrumental in giving them that money. He worked very, very hard to get it, and they finally got it. And the school is elementary, middle school, and high school. I believe a few months ago, myself, with the county manager, and George Lerner, I don't know who else, we did attend the school when they're doing the construction, and it was a mess. And see it now, it is so beautiful. I urge everyone to go by there and just take a tour, and you can see, call the county manager first, so you can take a tour. And the governor, he was there, he made a small presentation, and a lot of senators, and the place was crowded. And all the seats were full, the people sat in the benches. That means that's a lot, they was really concerned about the school. And they were very, very happy, and it's beautiful. And the governor and I, and some more people took a walk to the top to go outside, but at that time the rain came down, so it wasn't meant for us to go outside. But anyway, it was a good tour, and I urge every one of us, even the commissioners, to go out and visit that school. It is 3 schools into one. I believe it's the first one in still North Carolina, I believe, or the second one.
Second one this company's done. Yeah.
Anyway, it's very nice. And also, like Jason Jones asked, make sure they have a night out in the Hollow tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. I urge all the people in my community to please come out and get with me and the sheriff, and understand what kind of government and the sheriff is all about. It ain't about locking everybody up, but working together. So that's what we're gonna have. And I believe that's all I have. Mr. Chair, at the present moment.
You sure? Am I coming back?
Oh, I'm not long as Johnny, so
You talking about a long time.
Mr. Johnny.
Thank you, Chair.
I just like to say I would invite all the citizens in our community. I would like to see them, our citizens working together for a common cause to bring unity to the whole county. And I would really like for them to support the Dufferfield community in rebuilding or remodeling Stanley White Gym. Now, we are going to have National Night Out there in that area. And we would like for everybody, especially in Dufferfield, and all our supporters, we're gonna work together and show the other counties and the other states what can happen if people begin to work together and support one another. This be a magnificent endeavor. I would just like to see people come together and love each other. In that storm, I could see that, but it looked like after the storm passed over, looked like it's not as it was. And if we're gonna be brothers and sisters, as the scripture tell us to be, and be concerned about one another, then we're gonna have to work together. I was so hurt when I saw all these families at Walmart getting shot down. Now that really broke my heart, because if we don't show love to one another, same thing can happen to our families. We got to help protect one another. Those that want to do right, we got to support them. We grumble about the ones that are doing wrong all the time, but let's commend the ones that are doing right sometimes. Because we have a lot of people that really cares about each other, but we have, I would say we have a few that want to start disturbance. But if we can show that we are going to work together, we are going to help one another, then we can make a difference. And I can prove it to you. That was one of the worst storms that happened in Craven County I ever seen in my lifetime. And I've been here now 86 years. And I never saw a storm like that before. But I saw people coming together, they ain't never been together before. I even saw families, some families that can't speak to each other come together. So I know it can happen. if we put our mind to it, we in America can do anything, but we can't do it separately. We got to do it together. And I'll be so proud to see us be an example for other cities and other states. That they will say North Carolina, New Bern, I can say without a doubt, there are people who love one another and are willing to work together. I know we got plenty of churches, but look like our church is going to. Watch it. I can go to different churches and I bet you I can get about, I can find at least 10 or 15 seats.
That's all right.
In each one of them. Some of them I find more than that. But if we gonna practice our faith, if you can't practice our mouth, we gotta practice our actions. And I tell you, we like to be an example how the United States can act when they act together. We do great things, and we'll be the most powerful nation in the world. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Vice Chair?
On Friday at 6 o'clock, Keith Kidwell, who is our House Representative in North Carolina, will be having a town hall meeting in Vanceboro. So I would hope that many of the people in Vanceboro and Arnold and Truett get out for that town hall meeting. I will be attending it. It's at 6 o'clock on Friday at the town hall.
It is, sir?
That's it.
Okay. I have one thing. Please, please, please put on your calendars for September 16th, board members. That's a morning session. And we go into a workshop right after that. And it's going to be a long workshop. If you recall, we had some things left over on budget side that we had to talk about, and we've added some things we need to start working out, get worked out, so we can move forward before we are in bad shape again come budget time next year. Hate to say that, we just finished up with budget, we're already looking to move forward with it. So please, September 16th, morning meeting, we'll turn that into a workshop right after that, and I see probably going to 4 o'clock. Yeah. Yeah. It's a whole day job. That's why you get the big bucks.
Big bucks.
That's why you get the big bucks. All right, I'm coming back to you, Mr. McCabe. You have anything else, sir?
He's going to be absent on the
I'll
16th.
entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to stand up.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned.